Hi guys, and welcome to Zera channel, and welcome to Let's Talk Ships. Today guys, I will bring you on the test server actually a preview of Akatsuki class, and in the test tree I'll be a tier 7 in this line, like Izokaze, Mutsuki, Fubuki, and after Fubuki, Akatsuki. I think I nailed it. Okay, folks, I'll actually give you detail everything you need to know about this new Japanese destroyer. What's the specialty, and there are actually, and we can actually start with this. What's one of the biggest difference between the Fubuki and these destroyers? You see here, I'm talking about the boilers. She had improved boiler room. That basically the boiler were bigger and more powerful. When that means for this destroyer that besides Shimakaze and Minekaze, she is a pretty fast destroyers, and her strength versus all the Japanese line beside Minekaze and Shimakaze, I'm talking about the engine. The speed of this beauty will have 38 knots, which is much better than today's Hatsuharu and all rest of even the Fubuki is kind of a slow. 38, it's nothing to be ashamed. It's believe me or not, even slightly faster than Mayhem at tier 7. Now unfortunately there are some downsides. The turret traverse speed is 30 knots, so it takes forever. 30 seconds to do 180 degree turnings radius, so which is just bad. It's almost as a battleship, but this is a Japanese destroyer. Now the how fast it is, it's only have 8 rounds a minute. We can start with the HP pool, folks. The HP will be 13,100. When we are still at the guns, let's say the range, it's 10.4 kilometers range, which unfortunately at tier 7 will be the shortest. Well, maybe not quite, but almost. Even the German will have kind of a short distance. But anyhow, this is what it is: 10.4 kilometers range, with stock, with no captain's perk, with nothing. You can have, of course, benefit of the captain's perk, and same thing with goes to rate of fire. Now the good thing, this is a HE beast with the best HE performance of any tier 7 destroyer. With AP you'll do 2200. There's no point to use that thing ever, because your HE will do almost as much damage as AP. 2100 HE damage, one salvo, which in general, if you compare with all destroyer in this game at tier 7, you will do the most damage with your HE, because why not? You're a Japanese destroyer. And the biggest chance of fire chance, you have 9% stock. If you put maybe demolition expert, of course you can increase that, but I do not urge you. You're basically a gunboat, and a pretty actually fast gunboat. Now let's talk about something that you really need to know, and this is kind of not that really awesome, to be honest with you. It's the concealment. This destroyer's concealment is 7.4 kilometers, and your torpedo, I'm talking about this one, Type 90 mode 1, the upgraded one, because this is what I urge you to use, or pretty okay torpedo. They are range 10 kilometers and they will do roughly 17,000 damage, and the speed is pretty okay, 62 knots, 10 kilometers with 17,000 damage. And the best of all, it's you have 3 launchers, 1 and 2 and 3. What that it means, how I play it, let's say if I'm, you know, targeting a battleship, right? I don't ever try to put all my, especially let's say I'm playing Fubuki, right? I have 3 launchers. Of course, if you play Kagero or something else, you only have 2 launchers and you put your both of your launchers and hope for the best. But because 3 torpedo, they do so much damage as 17,000 damage each, you don't need all 9 to take a battleship down. And even though, let's say she dodged like crazy and you only, let's say, send 6 of your torpedo, and those of from 6, let's say she got lucky, only 2 torpedo hit, then she's flooding. You just wait, you know, couple of seconds and then you send the 3rd one. So this is how I play. When the 3rd one will hit, maybe let's say if I'm a little bit lucky, there only 1 single torpedo hit on the 6th salvo and she already used the repair party and she got flooding for the 2nd time, well, she's toast, because flooding, it takes so fast your HP pool like crazy, so she will go down in just couple of minutes or seconds, you know what I mean? Depends on how much HP she has. So what I'm trying to say, it's your strength. It's in 2 things. 62 knots, it's not a shame, and 10 kilometers, it's not great but not bad. And let's face it, this is only tier 7. So 10 kilometers at 62 knots speed. And here's the thing about the reload. Reload is 76 seconds. So I do urge you to buff everything you have about the reload time, because your bread and butter are the torpedoes. Of course, you have decent firepower for tier 6. You have same amount of guns as Kiev. And you know, firepower is there, so I will urge you to use them if you can, smoke, or if you see low HP target and stuff like that. But the reload, it's not that great, and your turret traverse it will takes forever to turn your turret. But otherwise, what's her specialty? It's once again, it's the torpedoes. The reload time, it's not bad. They're all 76 seconds. And yes, there's one more thing about this torpedo. They will get detected at 1.6, which is pretty damn good. This is not, you know, 2 point whatever. So it's not the greatest either. Don't get me wrong. I think the US will have even better torpedoes. I'm talking about the detection. But you have more torpedoes than them, so, or maybe not quite a whole lot, because Mayhem actually has 12 torpedoes. But you cannot compare 55 knots with 62 knots, you know, because even though they'll get detected at 1.6, you still gonna have faster and more deadlier torpedoes than Tlixam Mayhem, which, you know. But in general, I think the only good thing about her, there's 2 things. It's her speed and the amount of the torpedoes. So, in general, she will be okay. But you really need this concealment expert, because 7.4, it's a Mayhem level of bad. It's a kind of a bad for a Japanese destroyer, let me know. And there's one more thing. This is tier 7. You cannot put the module, a concealment module. The only thing will help you, it's the captain perk, the concealment expert. So I don't know, shall I say, it's not a big upgrade in this line. It's pretty small. And I'll tell you what I mean. The Fubuki has same amount of torpedoes, 9. The only actually different that you don't have one turret, but if you're a Japanese destroyer, you don't gunfight anyone. Your primary weapon or not the guns, it's those babies. But unfortunately, because the Fubuki used to have great torpedoes, she has kind of bad torpedoes. I'm talking about, let me know what type 8 mod 2 and mod 1 are, what speed and what is the reload time. But what is good, I think, is still 9 torpedoes at tier 6. And unfortunately she's not that fast, but for tier 6 this is an awesome torpedo boat. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, one of the most scariest torpedo boat in the game soon arrive. But it is a little bit upgrade just because you have the slight advantage. I'm talking about the speed, but you're kind of a tall in the water. This is my first opinion. And yes, you have the firepower and actually the speed, and that's the only huge difference between the Fubuki and the Akatsuki. It's actually the boiler room and perhaps a little bit more better torps. That's, you see, we have here the same old Fubuki's tier 6 torpedoes, and then we have the upgraded ones. Those ones do more damage and are faster. So that's all what I'm to say for now. Interesting line with this new Japanese destroyer. She's not so stealthy, to be honest with you, but she is a little upgrade, not by much by the Fubuki, but a little upgrade at tier 7. Thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe or leave a comment. Thank you.